it your best, but believe that I have got the strength inside. You can fight your way to get to me, but the only way that this will end is in retreat. You think you're better, but I know better, cause you're no different to anybody else. And I'm gonna prove in time that no heart's as strong as mine. No way to pierce my skin, there's no flesh and blood here. So you're gonna have to try to find another way inside. No matter what, I won't back down from you. This concrete heart will drive you down. 'Cause we both know that there's no room for two. My concrete heart will drive you down. No matter what, I won't back down from you. This concrete heart will drive you down. 'Cause we both know that there's no room for two. My concrete heart will drive you down. No matter what, I won't back down from you. This concrete heart will drive you down. 'Cause we both know that there's no room for two. My concrete heart will drive you down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's do it.
Ah, Stripes. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hey. Hi, everyone. Hey, we're back with more Drums of the Empire. D&D. It's session 6, yes? Numbers?
Yeah.
What is counting? I don't... I didn't sign up for math. in Dungeons
Fair.
and Dragons. But hey, hi, I'm Slappy Meats. Hi, I'm the streamer, you see. But also, I'm the Dhampir Rogue, Sail Dove. You can call me Dove, if you'd like. But I'm joined by homies. We're down 1 for the time being. But hopefully that spot in our hearts will be filled at its earliest opportunity. But we'll press on nonetheless. I am since joined by this way. We've got Wanyubai.
Hello, I am your tabaxi hunter, Wither.
Yeah. Going around, there's an empty spot where there's nothing but ice and crystal, where our hearts used to be. But continuing, from there, we have Salnica.
Hello, I'm playing the half-elf paladin who's also got a little bit of Feiner apparently, and well, I'm having fun.
Who wouldn't want to have a little fae in all of us? Speaking of which, we have, continuing onward, we have Moonlight Kitsune.
Greetings all. I am Yozora, the warlock of the party.
And a fae one at that. And that leaves us with the adorable ball of fluff, who is sure to ensure our doom. Oh, Moonlight, thanks for the sub. Hey, it's Iron Mog, and he's coming. He's fucking coming. You can't stop him.
Face, neck, and chest. Let's go!
Hell yes. Oh god, yes.
I have my dice ready in case the virtual ones decide to be needing another blood sacrifice.
Meh.
Let's move this. Let's move this.
Hail yeah. Well,
Here.
hail travelers.
Howdy.
Hello.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're down one tonight, but you know what? We're going to forge ahead. We'll come together as a team. We're going to have a good time anyway. I don't anticipate it being a extremely short session or anything by any means, but there certainly is a point up ahead where if we get to it, I'll call it even if it's not time because I don't want us to go past it without the full party here, unless it's, you know, no other option. Like, we only can move forward without someone. But for now, it's looking like you guys have triumphed in helping to clear out the celestial forges and allowing the celestial dwarves to reclaim their mind and keep their kind of pacifism and reverence for life and creation, kind of hold to that vow to take no life unless absolutely in the defense of another life or in the defense of the celestial dwarves themselves. So you've done a great service for them and returned triumphant. Your escort has led you back to the main halls, and then they have returned to do whatever, you know, jobs, I guess it is, they have during the day that they normally would have been taken care of. So you guys fought a big, scary, ugly monster. You triumphed in the end. It was really cool.
We got the level
You guys
3.
got some... True. All right. Yeah.
We even got a prize for it.
That's true. You did. You brought back a trophy from your kill, and you also picked up a few things while you're there. So that was nice. It felt good. Not a wasted trip at all.
We saw some things along the way too, on the way
Anything-
back.
That's true.
Anything it takes to protect your precious pacifism. I'll slay thousands in the name of protecting pacifism.
I like that. That's a real homie right there.
And my curiosity knows no bounds, and you know that by now.
I mean, fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Seeker of knowledge upon here.
And there's
Well,
Philomene, who's just out on an adventure.
Well, as long as the Master TCP doesn't kill the cat, we're good.
Ah.
I like this little cat we have.
Hmm.
But as you return to the dwarven settlement here that you've, at one point or another, you've been through already, you can see already up ahead the evidence that they have at least carried out so far their end of the bargain. They have supposedly, at least I guess as far as you can tell immediately, they have gone to retrieve your compatriots. The rest of the caravan has followed. You can see some of the carts up ahead. You can see in the very center where the entire delegation is kind of huddled up, having a nice little conversation with the king and some of his advisors and whatnot. So we'll pick up from there as you guys return in great triumph.
Well then, let's go and meet the rest of the group.
I'm just sort of shooting the shit with one of the guards on the way back, like, and then get this motherfucker right here, this ice cold motherfucker right here says, "You don't belong on this mortal coil. It is time for you to be removed." I swear, if my blood could chill.
I'd have thrown a glass at that guy.
The guard is summarily impressed and kind of gives one who leans a like more kind of just curious glance.
And not even talking shit. He meant it with every fiber of his stalk or whatever. That's what makes it so cold. Oh! Our benefactors.
Hey, looky, everyone's here. Hello everyone, we brought back dinner.
No, we didn't.
And as I say that, I walk
walked
to the circle, to the middle of the circle, and I plop down the big cloud I brought back.
Zora's just gonna face palm for just a moment, walk up, grab Phil and me by the back of their armor, scruff, whatever it is, and drag them back.
How much kill?
I look around and take stock of all of our associates, cohorts, compatriots, co-workers.
Co-workers.
Anyone missing?
No one appears to be missing as far as you can tell. As you're looking around, you're seeing everybody. There are other guards and a couple of the City Lord elite as well. Their tokens are just not on the map to cut down a little bit on clutter. But you can also assume that, like, Batcat is not the only one from the City Watch. He has other members of the City Watch kind of around the room as well.
He has a whole litter with him?
Yeah.
Would it be litter for cats, or, like, would it be swarm of bats? Oh,
It's
no,
a
wait, well,
swarm
litter's
of
just
litters.
for kittens. Colony of cats.
There we go. And of course, over in the corner, you've got Boan over here, who just seems to be having a good time. Looks like well-combed, well-fed. It's got, some nice food there that's just kind of munching down on. And it looks like it's had, just a good cleaning. Its fur is just nice and brushed. And it's all healed up.
Gotta give a ball and a quick glance and a nice smile, and then return my attention to the console.
Wither just kind of takes in everybody that's around and just nods. I doesn't know what to really say.
Zora is trying to avoid a diplomatic incident.
Gale and Graham kind of just stare at this large hunk of flesh on the ground, and Gale kind of looks down at it and looks up. Well, I suppose that is why we brought you along. You're at least serving your purpose, and job well done. What did you want us to do with it?
I don't really know. I just figured I should bring back at least proof of our kill, especially for our dear friend the king. I mean, we don't. He probably doesn't. Did you even know what was lying down there in the mine?
The king kind of stares at it and then looks over at the other diplomats and looks at you and just kind of tilts his head a little bit, shrugs a shoulder and a gentle roll for a moment. The gesture is appreciated, though unnecessary. I would have believed you, had you simply come back and said you've done the task. The proof of that would have been immediate as soon as we returned ourselves. And if you had in fact double-crossed us and betrayed us, then I suppose that would be on you, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Well then,
That
if
would be-
anything,
it would weigh heavily on our conscience, as, after all, I'm sure you'd let us get away with it.
well then, if anything, see it as a source of material for whatever you might decide to craft out of it.
Just so. It is quite a impressive specimen. And I do, again, appreciate each of you for taking care of that and allowing us the chance to continue our vow, as it were.
Oh, but your highness, this is
Yes?
not all. I would happily tell you what we've discovered over a round of some of your most delicious ale.
He will kind of smile at that, look at a couple of his runners, nod a little. I definitely agree with that sentiment. We should have ale. The whole hall. We should celebrate. The Celestial Forges can be reclaimed, and once more our great work will begin. In fact, we've been negotiating here with your companions on what we hope to do moving forward, for both you and for the city in general.
Oh, wonderful. Then our delegation has been doing its heavy lifting as well, I trust.
Indeed we have. And you lot, who have done such a reputable job upholding the ideals and the promise of the city to fight for creation and to build unity across all living worlds and beings. Thank you. You have done an exemplary job and shall be handsomely rewarded, as compensation will be due.
It's
Well-
all part of our job. We were hired to do this, and so we did.
We do what we must to protect the light and the life.
Oh, nothing could be higher priority for me than protecting light or whatever.
Athos laughs.
Okay.
Come on, there's nothing wrong with little monetary desires or more base values.
Hmm. Indeed.
I certainly, again, cannot argue with that. And then runners will begin to float around. They will hand ale to the different members of the delegation, and they will have also for each of you some mugs and tankards brought out.
Ooh, good hell.
It should be. It's from our original home.
Izora will be gently sipping at that ale.
As well with her.
The secret to its creation has been lost to us, unfortunately. But we do like to share it when the occasion calls for it.
Actually, out of character, didn't we find something about that?
Like, apparently this is a very potent, but it's less that it's strictly alcohol. There's a magical kernel to this flavor and the kick as well.
The only
Yeah.
thing I recall off the top of my head of finding anything that was a rolled up parchment that Izora couldn't open.
Yeah, I think we found something like that in the books and parchments that we discovered.
Oh,
Yep. And
no,
I've got some stuff as well. So
The sheets have
that I
texture now. Oh, look at this.
Of course, I think Seldov as those scrolls, if I'm not mistaken.
I've got some notes.
Sure, I have
if
no idea what you're
anything.
talking about. Anyway, in the spirit of sharing, the information that we acquired about this infestation, your forge, as it would seem, is undisturbed. Your efforts to your men's efforts to bar the entrance to that most important sanctum seem to have been successful. Nothing but the silence of death beyond that jammed door in mind.
There was one passage that we could not explore beyond, but it seems
It's
to be
the one of
collapsed.
which I speak, of course. We did not breach the entrance as we did not want to violate the security of your precious forge. However, down below, where, in fine dwarvish tradition, the depths were dug perhaps a bit farther than your means, a breach into the vacuous space of eternity, whatever the fuck is out there, seems to have been the passage through which these vile creatures infiltrated your forge and your minds. That may need to be dealt with post-haste.
I definitely agree with that. So you found a back door, an opening of some sort that would lead into the mines?
We did. Specifically, my good friend Wither here located a breach underneath some fluid, water, celestial water or whatever is here, that led out into a hungry, gaping hole.
I bet you enjoyed that.
Well, thank you for letting us know. And you say the sealed section was undisturbed?
Yes.
As far as
Good.
we could determine, as stated, we didn't try to disturb it beyond a cursory look.
Good. That is encouraging, at least. Well then, drink up, celebrate, rest tonight,
Cheers.
and I believe you will be able to leave in the morning, continue on your journey, and we will have maps provided to guide you to where we believe the doorway to this world you are seeking might be.
Raise my glass over to Wither.
By the way, my
He
lord,
raises
if I
back.
by the way, my lord, if I may inquire for a moment,
Of
Yeah.
course.
in those mines we found a number of weapons. One of them has piqued my interest, and at that, Philemy will pull out her sword and hold it in her hands. This particular sword here has gathered my interest, not just as a potent weapon for one like me, but also seems to have something that pulls to me. I was wondering if you could tell me more about its origins and how it came to find its way here.
Bring it here then. I'll have a closer look. Should I know it, I will tell you what I know.
And she hands over the sword.
Yeah. As you approach and hand over the sword, you'll kind of look over to where Dove and Wither, basically cheersing each other and looking cool. And he will nod, raise his own glass in, reciprocation of that, before turning to Philemy and taking the sword. Ah. Blade is fine work, and it is not our make, of course. This is definitely, it seems ancient elven make. Celestian, if I had to guess. Kind of turns it over a few times in his hand, kind of swings it a little bit to get the feel of it. And then as he's admiring it, he kind of looks over at you. So, what is it you wish to know about it?
Well, as much as you can tell me, really. The sword is very useful for my own powers and prowess of battle, but more importantly, in it I found a sort of kinship, if I can say. It reminded me of the phase that I once held, in a way that I cannot quite put my finger on. I was hoping to know where where that connection might be.
Indeed. The story of a blade. The tale of what it may be and what it may be connected to, absolutely. It is not one that I am personally familiar with, of course, but I recognize its make, and I recognize the markings upon it. He kind of holds it up in the air, kind of just like both hands lifting it towards the light that kind of filters through the ceiling, and the crystals poking through there. The markings upon the hilt there, you see the pommel as well, the sunburst. This is a blade that was once made for sunwalkers. In the first age, the sunwalkers were defenders of the realm. By the realm, I mean, and he kind of gestures towards everything, creation itself. They started simply as a elvish group of those who were born of radiance and who served the light. But they soon began to encompass a bit more. They were the first and last line of defense against the oncoming oblivion. Watchers at the gates, if you will. They were nigh unstoppable. The powers were known far and wide. Each of the elvish celestial empires had members that were sunwalkers. They spread to other worlds, and when the War of Oblivion came, they were the first to raise blade and shield and meet it head on. How this one came to be here, that I unfortunately could not tell you. I could give you theories, ideas. This realm, the way between realms as you know it and has been called now for ages, is more the membrane of memory. A gap between where existence and oblivion meet. That very thin shield around which the bubble of creation might be known to exist. Things bleed through. Memories of things that did or did not exist or might yet exist make their way here. The land masses you see, the different buildings you may encounter, the ruins you may uncover, they either existed, were thought to have existed, or will one day exist somewhere in creation. So it is entirely possible that some Sunwalker ruin is buried around here, and we have uncovered some part of it and are digging. This blade was once meant for a vanguard, an individual who would be the first line of defense against whatever coming darkness or oblivion might threaten creation. They usually stood tall, their companions and patriots behind them, ready to face that darkness and push back if they could. It is an ancient order, one which, unfortunately, is no longer found on any of the known worlds, though there has been rumor. You speak of Rohal Sunwalker.
I
I
see.
do indeed.
Well, you spoke of memories, and if this is such a memory, there has to be a reason it bubbled back up to the surface. I shall be taking this blade with me and see what it still leads to. I, for one, would certainly have an interest in that order.
He will stand up and then offer you the blade in the proper way. He's holding the pommel towards you and the blade laying flat. I would have you take the blade then. Rise up, a hero of the celestial dwarves, and defender of life and creation. So I name you.
Very well, I'll take that. I'll certainly take that honor and see where it leads me. I have seen the beauty of creation, and I had already made it my goal to protect it on the roads and in the fields, the forest. That is how I came to protect those faiths in the times before. And I will suddenly take this blade wherever it may lead me. And I'll take the blade and put it in my scabbard.
The king will nod, will raise his glass in the air. We toast then to life and to creation, the forging of new alliances, and a wall of light to push back against the darkness.
To the beauty of all things.
Cheers. And Wither raises his glass again and takes another sip.
Sildove will raise his glass as well, and carefully, from the corner of his eye, observe our friend Athos to see how he's comporting himself through these discussions.
In response to the king's toast, Athos will kind of stand up a little bit straight, raise his glass as well, and take a drink. But he remains quiet.
If I may, I did come across a roll of parchment down there I wasn't able to open, but it looked important. I wanted to make sure it got back to you and yours safely, just in case it was something of great importance.
By all means.
And all of character, no, I do not know what's in it. I wasn't able to open it.
And yes, I do. In time, I do need to see your Forge Master for a time.
Yozora will hand over the scroll, and like I said, he doesn't know what's in it. He's just making sure that it's not, something that's stupidly important that would get him hunted down or something.
The king will take it, have a seat, and just kind of raise an eyebrow. Curious. I do not recognize this.
Yeah, like I said, I found it down in the mines and in one of the forges, but I wasn't able to open it and had more pressing matters to head to. Not getting eaten for one. And I know secrets do sometimes need to be held. And I didn't wish to take that wasn't needed to be taken.
He'll just kind of nod your direction. It's most appreciated.
Not a problem, Your Majesty. Knowledge is for all, after all.
He kind of smiles at that. Just so. And you say you need to see the Forge Master. I believe he and the short green one are currently discussing whatever it is engineers discuss.
Do you mind if I take my leave for the moment to speak with him?
You have no need to even ask. You are heroes amongst us now and have done us a great service. Enjoy your ale and your time as you wish.
Wither raises his mug and cheers as one that time, and says, "Well then, with that, I will be back in a little bit. Cheers."
And the king will take a seat once more.
And Wither just walks in and sees both, I can't remember names, Mech and the Forge Master in here.
If you hover over them, you should be able to see their names.
Yep, I did. I hadn't looked yet, so just kind of my mind kind of that way. So walks in, sees them both talking.
Alright. Before we get to that, does anybody out here have anything else? Dove, anything?
I suppose not at the moment in particular. I would be eavesdropping as much as I can on any ancillary conversations to make sure that things are unfolding in our favor, as far as everyone else's machinations are concerned.
Alright, absolutely. And then you're coming over here to check on Boan?
As the conversations dwindles away, Melanie will go and check on Boan to just reassure her and spend some time with her best friend.
All right, so they're going to continue to negotiate. Those of you who are out here eavesdropping, listening, etc., I assume that Yuzora is going to be also purposefully listening in.
Indeed, this is a learning experience. Never know when you need to have a noble discussion or negotiation. Take your pick on wording.
All right, it seems as if Graham and Gale are both very interested in what the Celestial does. So this is all for your notes, the different kind of vibes you're getting. So they're very interested in what the Celestial Dwarves have as far as mappings and knowledge of other doors. They're very interested in finding that. Gale, for the obvious reasons of wanting to find places for the refugees on our world to settle. Graham, for the obvious reasons he wants to gain favor within the Senate and the city and help bring more worlds in. Pawnee is very hard to read at the moment. She's kind of simply observing, it seems. She is very impassive. Zolna is very interested in what the Celestial Dwarves seem to have as far as the capability of working with and forging weapons out of different raw materials, and seems interested in working out some sort of exchange between her world and the dwarves to see if they can improve the guns that her world is known to produce in any way with their crystalline, technology. Cessia seems a little bit excited, as again she is such a junior member of the group, that this is one of her first big things. So she seems very excited. She's very enthusiastic. Everything about this she's loving and having a good time. She also seems to be very interested in a proposition by the dwarves to set up kind of stations in the way between realms, and anywhere that a door opens from the city into it. Athos, as far as any of you are able to tell, seems to simply be tolerating this. Doesn't seem to be talking or interested in talking with anyone, and it's kind of just existing at the moment.
Just smoldering.
A little bit. Doesn't seem like openly hostile. Doesn't seem like it hates, this. Doesn't, it's not opposed to what's going on. You kind of get this sense that Athos knows, like, this is important. But I don't give a fuck. So I'm going to stand here not giving a fuck. But is otherwise agreeable. If approached, is very friendly. Has spoken to other dwarves that have come by and said a few things. And I think that's really it. Batcat seems to just be hyper vigilant and wanting to do a good job, and is in fact doing a good job. He is a good boy.
What a good boy.
Good kitty.
I'm gonna tell him he's a good boy. I'm gonna pet him and say he's a good boy.
He will purr.
Be sure to give him his scratchies.
You made it here safely and everything. Keeping such good watch on the place. Oh, such a good boy.
So while Batcat's enjoying that and definitely feeling good about himself, we will join Wither as you join these two in here. We're kind of going over, they're looking at plans and pointing at different things and items around.
Well, they're just kind of. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What are you doing?
So he just walks in, kind of hovers for a second, just kind of listening in, seeing if they kind of notice that he's arrived, if at all. But as silent as he is, usually gets kind of just kind of sits there and watches for a minute.
And here's what I'm saying, Timus. You don't want to do this, right? You want to be able to figure out a way to increase your yield with less product. So if I'm taking your crystals, right? I'm gonna see if I can get some of this shit from Loon. Some of this this volatile, here, look at this, and he pulls out a small red crystal kind of from his vest. And Timus is looking at it and just looks like, how dare you even? Yeah, right. Like this is the shit they're making on Loon, right? But this shit is potent. Like if I would have like put them together. So here's what I'm thinking: is I'll put them together, right? And I figure that's a yield increase of like 5 times. Why are you trying to blow holes in the sides of mountains? Huh? I mean, why wouldn't you? So that's what you walk in on.
I see you're violent as ever there, Mac. Hello.
Huh? What do you mean violence? This isn't violence, this is efficiency.
Okay, sure, whatever you say. Anywho, how are you two doing today?
Huh? Oh, good, real good. This guy's got some crazy ideas, but I absolutely love it. Like, look at some of this shit. Like, have you seen this here? You don't have to call it crazy shit because you don't understand it. Yeah. Yeah, this is like, you know, like, you're familiar with spells, right?
Simply, yes.
Yeah. So okay, so like the shield spell. Like, imagine that, but like only actually useful and good.
Interesting. How would it work?
See, that's the part I'm trying to figure out. And I'm also trying to tell this guy that, like, if you increase the yield here with these other crystals, you can get more of a bang for your buck. But as far as I'm able to tell, it's some sort of, like, large, like, field generator. Like a wall of force, but, again, better. It's just simple refractive crystalline technology. It produces a light-based shield around an area that protects it from outside harm. It's a fairly standard. I don't understand the concern here. Yeah, the concern is, you know, I want bigger and better.
Based AF.
So you're wanting to have it cover a larger area? Is that what I'm getting at?
I mean, yeah, wouldn't you? Like, imagine if you could, like, cover a whole city with this shit, not just, like, you know, like a building or, like, a person.
Wouldn't it show weaknesses in certain spots, though?
Yeah, but you figure you feed it enough power, it's gonna be, you know, fine. What weakness? You know, who gives a shit? Thing's strong. Like, by the time they figure out a way to exploit the weakness, you know, I don't know, we fucking kicked their ass with, like, the rest of this shit.
That sounds like it would take a lot more power than you would think, honestly.
That's why I want to increase the power. I want to put in these Loon crystals.
Wouldn't this level of power become dangerous?
Everything's dangerous. But you can't be a little wuss about it. You gotta just fucking do it sometimes. Sometimes you gotta blow up a mountain so that you can, I don't know, see what's on the other side.
Whether just shakes his head and just... anyways...
I guess he's not all bad.
Timus, I believe I have something that might be of use to you. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
What have you got?
He pulls out the Forge Master's notes and hands them to him graciously, and says, "I found these in one of the upper chambers on the way to the mine. Do you know what they would be used for? If they're of any use, or what would it be for?"
He'll hold his hand out, take it from you, and like kind of light up, both of his eyebrows climbing up his forehead a little bit. These are my notes. You found my notes. I mean,
And what
the notes
are
on
they?
everything, every discovery, every idea I ever had. You know, there's so much here.
You
Oh,
found
you
his
found it. Thank you.
you found his Lisa Frank folder.
Yeah.
Anything intriguing that might be of use out of them?
Oh God, so much. Idea for a special engine that could pierce not only space and time, but also possibility. What?
Okay.
That's insane. That would never work.
How do you pierce possibility?
You never know. Brother, isn't there rumor that there's already one of those engines that exists? Yeah, a rumor. No one's seen it for, ever. So, it sounds like just a bullshit treasure hunter story to me. Well, regardless, this is an
Oh my
idea
God.
for one that may work, and we'll see. If it does, then all the better for us.
Interesting. Do tell. I would like to talk to you about that a little bit. Do you mind if I sit down beside you and we can discuss this?
By all means, find somewhere to sit, wherever you'd like. What would you like to discuss?
What exactly does this engine do that you are talking about?
Well, it's just as I said, it traverses and crosses through not just space and time itself, but through possibility as well.
Oh God, here he goes.
But how would you even start to work on this?
Well, I mean, I'd probably build the casings first, and then probably the energy flow regulators, and then the distributors, and then start working on the couplings after that, I'm sure.
Couplings? Is there going to be weddings?
Tish. What? No, not that kind of coupling.
Shame.
Damn.
Oh, well, that's boring then.
Are there certain materials that you would need to accomplish this?
Oh, more than likely, yeah. We've got a lot of it down in the mines ourselves. You know, the crystals, and he kind of points around the different crystalline structures. You know, the different crystal structures we've got. I need likely some of those. Any other possible power sources or a source of arcane potential? Any sort of different, or perhaps elementium. I imagine we might need some elementium.
I see. And this engine seems very valuable to you, yes?
Well, of course. Okay, I don't think you're quite grasping the full benefits of this engine, what it would do. Okay, so imagine you want to go somewhere, right?
Yes.
You can get there from anywhere with this engine.
Wouldn't it be doesn't it seem like it'd be kind of large to make this, though?
Well, I mean, that's part of the process of learning is how to miniaturize it so we can make it smaller and therefore compact and, you know, go anywhere with it. You know, it's like a wristwatch. We gotta start somewhere.
Interesting.
So it can go anywhere in space and anywhere in time. You want to go to yesterday, it can take you to yesterday. You want to go tomorrow, it can take you to tomorrow. But the possibility, anywhere in possibility, that's the big one. Past and future, timelines that never existed, potential, go outside of time and space itself.
That sounds like it would be a headache.
My thoughts exactly as well.
Out of character as somebody who tends to play as a dimension traveler, yes.
Dwarves digging too deep again.
Well, I mean, it may be a bit of a headache, but it'd be easily managed. I mean, it's the point of the engine, is to manage it for us automatically.
Is there anything else in those notes that could be useful? Maybe a possible weapon to forge? Maybe something of use that could be more portable?
Well, of course, there's all sorts of stuff in here. Like I said, this is every idea, every potential, every sketch, everything I've ever done, everything I've ever thought of doing. My notes, my whole career is in here. Every weapon I ever thought, every gizmo, every gadget.
Would you happen to have maybe a patented sword in there, maybe, or a bow that could be useful?
Mac kind of starts laughing. Timus looks at you. Do you just want me to make you a weapon? I mean, I could just do that. I literally do that all the time.
that is possible. I wouldn't mind having something a little more unique.
Of course it's possible. I just need to know what you want, and, well, I need to take the time to make it.
Well, I was coming in here to see if it was possible to get some armor for my dear friend Bohan. But I feel like my request is sort of mundane now.
Yeah. Again, anything's possible. Especially now that we have the forge back. I mean, I assume you're not back because you failed, are you?
No, we pretty much found it. We just need to. It's still blocked off, but it is. The area is cleared off, so to speak.
There was one passage that was collapsed, but everything else has been cleared up and cleaned up of any hostiles.
It's where the goddamn forge is. Oh shit.
As long as they don't dig a little too deep again.
Ah, it'll be fine. But yeah,
It's going
I
to.
mean, the forge is back. Anything's possible. Anything you want crafted, we can at least look into it. If we can't do it now, we'll figure out a way to do it later.
Actually, you know what? He looks at his claws and just kind of.
Zone.
Do you happen to have any gauntlets that could make any gauntlets that would be very much could improve upon my my claws a little bit?
You want to scratch things better? Absolutely. We could do something like that for sure. Again, you just tell me what you want, and I'll see about making it.
Fair enough. I mean, it seems like. I mean, it doesn't sound. I mean, just something that. Like, just. I don't know. Let your mind go wild on it, if anything.
I don't honestly know if that's actually a good idea. The last time I did that, it really got away from me.
How so?
Did you eventually find it back?
No, I mean, nothing like that. No, but it just, it escalated. I suppose it went from being, something simple to being something extremely chaotic and involved, and well, it did almost blow up a few times, but no one was really hurt or injured for very long.
Well, it just kind of. Don't let it go too crazy, then, I guess. I'll leave that to you, and, just something that can be very, I don't know, very quick and easy to use, if anything, and kind of something maybe to maximize damage, if need be.
I'll see what I can do, perhaps.
As for me, my request should be fairly simple. My friend Bohan rides into battle with me most of the time, and, well, I just feel it's not fair for me to have all the armor and none for her. So, if you can scrounge up something from scraps here and there, I would very much appreciate it.
I mean, that is, of course, also possible. If you consider just not.
Sorry, I missed that. What was the last word?
Have you considered just not
That's not what?
riding into battle? I mean, it's just a beast of burden. You could always just walk.
It's a friend, and she fights with me.
Have you ever asked?
Well, yes, we both left our farms together. If she wanted and I wanted her to just be a piece of burden, she would have stayed there. She literally followed me as I left the farms.
No, I mean, I'm not criticizing, but I think you may have mistaken what started as friendship as just maybe you had like an apple or something. I'm just saying, I mean, yeah, we do it. Just, you could always just not also.
Is this motherfucker mansplaining her own friend to her?
I'm staying out of that. I am very much staying out of that. I'm waiting for the inevitable explosion, quite honestly, and having to deal with that. Ahem, to quote Udina, big political shitstorm.
Well, Philly is just not understanding what the third master is getting to here. We ride as one, we fight as one, we are together in all this. If we
Oh,
did not want, if we did not want these adventures, we would have stayed on the farm.
oh, I see. I didn't understand that it was a symbiotic relationship. That's on me. So, yeah. I mean, we look at doing some armor, I suppose, for your other half.
Well, that would be very appreciated. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to walk away, still trying to understand what he was getting at.
Ooh, we could put lasers on it.
Dove is over here by Pani. How are the negotiations treating you?
Pani slowly turns towards you, her massive Goliath form just kind of like peering down at you for a moment, and her face impassive. Finally, kind of acknowledging you with a nod. The negotiations have seemed fine so far. The military prowess and might of the Celestial Dwarves is well known, of course, and I can see it is not exaggerated in the least. Their tactics, however, do leave much to be desired. I do not see them as any sort of a threat, at least at the moment. Perhaps in better organization and moved to be a tactical threat, it could pose an issue.
Yes, I do tend to find some gaps in the soundness of the strategy of pacifism.
There is a very interesting version of pacifism. For while pacifism does tend to promote nonviolence, at least in the spirit of some, pacifism is not the unwillingness to fight, but is more the willingness to defend any life.
That seems to be what they go on about, yes.
It is quite interesting, in fact. I could stand to see this attitude more often throughout the multiverse, but unfortunately, it is what it is. Violence abhors the vacuum.
And there is plenty of vacuum to go around in this space.
And within the Senate halls, she just kind of laughs. But there is merit. Their idea certainly has potential.
So long as it does not result in them getting supplanted from their next home.
I think that something like that would be part of what our end of the bargain would be, making sure that their new or current or whatever home they wish remains that. We would come to their aid and they ours.
Good. I certainly hope that for continued aid would be continued restitution.
But the idea to set up checkpoints and bases around all the different doors that lead to the city, that is quite an idea, especially from a tactical standpoint. Being able to watch all the different entrances and exits, I like it.
Indeed. A monolithic entity of eyes upon the entirety of your territory. Certainly tactical.
the Seeing Lady herself would be quite jealous.
Do I know who that is?
Go ahead, roll a history check.
First roll of the night. Oh, let's go.
You indeed have heard of the Seeing Lady. The Seeing Lady is supposedly an entity that exists within the city of Doors. And rumor has it that, true to the name, sees everything, has eyes everywhere, knows all secrets, all knowledge, nothing escapes this individual. And should you be so, air quotes, lucky to encounter the Seeing Lady, it is known she will reveal to you 3 truths of the future that your life holds. And what you do with those truths and how you interpret them and then embrace them is, again, up to you. But she will reveal those 3 things to you.
Sounds like fun.
Certainly.
And you will be forever marked as another eye amongst the multiverse.
Interesting. Yeah, so Dove knowing about this, yes, this being an entity of secrets, Dove has an interest in this entity.
It is also known that Hiro Hattori, the leader of the Arcs within the city, has met with the Seeing Lady.
It's known. Oh. Yes. Oh no, don't capture it here. I got my cheat sheet out.
I am certainly interested in their ability to build and create things so quickly. It would allow us to have fortifications upon Yome faster than I anticipated, which gives us an immediate defensible position.
Against what threats? Do we still
Any and
yet
all.
know?
Unfortunately, we do not yet know what waits us, but it is good to be prepared. And a wall has ever been a way to protect those within from the threats without.
Yes. Threats without. And there are many, to be sure. Well, we shall speak again. Thank you graciously for the conversation.
Of course. And thank you again for your service.
Of course. Go to Athos. Yeah, lame party, right? You want to get out of here?
They are a bit good for my tastes.
I never find that I can fully trust someone who seems too clean.
Indeed. There was a name for those like that. Back home, of course.
Go on.
Fools.
Fair enough. But perhaps they take others for fools. Those who seem pristine, unmarred, I find typically are just the best at hiding it.
Typically, and I would agree with you normally. But his lordship has actually mentioned these fools before. The celestial dwarves existed perhaps even before he did, which is nothing short of amazing.
they do seem to go on a lot about existing outside of such concepts as time, reality, possibility, etc. It seems beyond the ken of many. It again makes me wonder how much veracity there is to it.
Of that we're of the same mind. I'm certainly interested to know more about them. They intrigue me. If they are truly as good as they outwardly appear, that would be amazing. I've never met any truly good individuals, especially not an entire culture.
Indeed. So often what is passed as good is simply what is galvanized within that culture.
Those that have won and written the histories, usually those who consider themselves the good ones.
Exactly.
Everything else was alien, bad, strange, outside the norm. So I'd never fully wished or trusted. But these seem to be at least somewhat on the level. And their age and their longevity also seems to be, as far as I can ascertain, quite authentic.
Leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But we shall take it at face value for now.
Unfortunately, there is no other option. You are correct. But at least it does offer a bit of reassurance in that I can trust them to do the right thing every time,
That
and as
is
such
true.
are exploitable.
Those who fancy themselves good are often rather predictable in their behaviors and their motivations.
And quite honestly, those who fancy themselves on the other side are even more manipulative or manipulatable.
Often. I would love an insight check to see if he's calling me out.
Go ahead. That was a little bit pointed. A little, yeah.
One must stay fluid. After all.
Speaking of fluids,
Yes. Cheers.
and he will toast with you, down his drink. Now, what other fluids do you have interest of? Perhaps we could find a private moment.
Dove is a little
Fluids.
taken by surprise at this one. Kind of figured he was all business. Oh. There, there may be a few. Shall we find somewhere to speak privately?
We should. And he will kind of hold his arm out for you.
Take it.
After all, it is a party, and it would behoove us, I think, to celebrate.
Of course. Yes.
All right,
Right.
and he will lead you, if you're willing, to one of the carriages inside.
I am. Will make an insight check if I can to see if I'm just being. Well, I don't give a shit if I'm being toyed with, but if there's. No, fuck it, I don't care.
But yeah, you absolutely may make checks or saves as you feel that you might want to.
This is what I think it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Dove should know. He can read the room. Great.
Well, Zelda's gonna be in a good mood tomorrow morning.
Yes, Athos was having a boring time at a party. Pretty boy comes up, basically offers himself. Athos is like, I like that idea. Let's go.
Oh, yes. I didn't expect him to bite. Well, I guess
No, he does bite.
that's my feelings mutual.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, good. Well, I guess for the sake of sparing you the full-ass ERP, I guess we'll leave this to what it is.
Yep. This will fade to black, and magic keeps it contained. So enjoy. Outside, the rest of you are enjoying the remaining festivities. Anybody who wants to keep drinking, more drink will be brought.
I'm good on alcoholic beverages. Magic and alcohol don't tend to mix unexplosively.
If any of you wish to converse with any of the delegates, with the king, about anything, you absolutely may.
Wither just continues to drink with the Forge Master, and I guess we could continue negotiating different things to be made for all the party members, for that matter, as well.
Oh yeah, Mech and the Forge Master, they're just gonna have a good time talking about different things that they could build, different things they could blow up, different things that they could build and then would be used to blow things up, or different things they could blow up and then use to build things.
What about things that blow up as they build things?
That is an unfortunate byproduct of most of Mech's work. It is not usually an intended result of the Forge Master's work.
Well, we will spend the evening drinking and flitting about among the guests, just making casual conversation. And frequently returning to Bohan to check up on her.
If I'm remembering from the reading of the
My
room,
face is hot.
Cestia was the one that was very excited about what's going on, energetic and happy.
Yeah. She's having a good time. She's very excited to see these proceedings happening. She wants to, get involved and to do as much as she possibly can, for sure.
Well, Zora will walk up and approach her, and it's like, you look like you were having a good time. Is this intriguing to you?
It is. Quite so, in fact. She will raise her glass to you and drink a little bit.
Zora will return the gesture with a simple sip. Yeah, I will admit this is very intriguing. Even back home, this type of negotiation didn't happen all too often.
It has been some time since the city has had the opportunity to meet with new cultures and entirely new sovereign entities, such as these celestial dwarves appear to be. It is, as I said, it is exciting, especially to be here on the cusp of it all, leading the charge, setting up those negotiations, looking into the treaties, how we might mutually benefit and aid one another.
Indeed, it is history in the making, and for the knowledge that can be gained here for all parties would be beneficial to of untold magnitudes from what I can understand.
The possible far-reaching implications are incredible. Faster travel between unknown worlds, discovery of new worlds, new lands, new opportunities, new resources, new allies.
Indeed, though there is a small thing that you people like us should be aware of. While myself, I have not detected any falsities from the Celestial Dwarves the entire time we've been here. So I do not believe we have to worry about them, but it's how others will use their gifts. We don't want to say, in your hands, one of their gifts would be an amazing thing to help people. Give that to, say, common street thug? Who knows what havoc they could unleash with it.
That is a very good point. We would, of course, want to protect them and be as fair as possible.
It's just something from several stories I've read to keep an eye on. Just because we see the benefits of this alliance does not mean that we see all the benefits, or that what others who are less strict with their moral compass could do with it.
Well, for at least our part, I certainly hope that their secret is not one that is easy to leak and share with others.
Here's hoping, correct? After all, this is a monumental occasion, as you have noted. So, while it is something to think about, maybe the doom and gloom can wait a little bit. Let that be for people who are less excited about this.
I'm sure there will be detractors, there always are.
Yeah, it takes far too much effort to create a unified, everybody thinks the same way. And when something comes along that you don't have the solution to, well, maybe having alternate ways to think is a better idea.
And, well, your opinion is of value. So, how do you feel? Firstly, their ideas and their proposals, and what we're about now.
Oh, respect that.
Zora's going to take a moment just to think, just understanding. It's like, okay,
So let's pick
I think their proposals do make sense. A way for a safe haven on this side of on these side of the doors that travelers like ourselves can take shelter at is a novel idea. As for your other part, if you're asking about my opinion on seeking allies, because for the first time in an age, that too, I think is a good idea. But we also cannot trust everybody, as you've noted. We have to be careful. We open our doors to everybody. That allows the more scrupulous, how to put this, backstabbers, turncoats in as well. I'm not saying we don't, but being careful never hurts.
No, it's a good point. If we do open it up, we do open it up for everyone, not just those who have good intentions, those who may have ill intention as well.
Exactly. Now, I'm not saying just distrust everybody at face value. If my party did that, we wouldn't have this lovely party going on right now around us, as an alliance is being talked about. But yes, a little caution. Not throwing everything to the wind from stories my cousins have told me. Yeah. Sometimes not good. Yeah. I just completely lost my train of thought. Sorry.
What cousins? I've not heard you say much about your family before. She kind of tilts her head and looks at you.
What?
To mortals like us, we aren't much to them, unfortunately. I am only family because of the adoption. I am from the Feywilds. My mother, a native, found me and adopted me.
You hail from the Feywilds. Well, I had no idea. Interesting. Do you know how to get back?
Oh, I have my ways. I won't advertise them here. Gotta keep a few secrets just in case.
That it would be quite a secret. No one's been able to reach the Feywild purposely for some time now. At least some time since the Second Age.
I only really left because of both my own wanderlust, which I'm allowed to leave, thankfully, and because somebody has a threat to the Sealy Court, and I am the one, and I have proven to be the only one of us from the Feywilds that was able to hurt them. So I have been sent out to try and stop them. Helping you all is a benevolent stepping stone on this path.
I'm not familiar with the politics of the Feywild. Who is this court?
The Sealy Court is the court of all the, let's just say, good Fae. Their Fae have their light and dark side, though all tend to be rather mischievous. The level of mischievous and harm from that mischievousness can vary depending on which side of the Sealy or unsealy courts you may be. I am, as I said, from the Sealy Court, ruled by King Oberon and High Queen Titania.
Interesting. Again, these are all names and entities I'm not fully familiar with. I've not heard their names before, and I shall endeavor to remember them. If we ever do open up any sort of negotiations or trade or alliances with the Feywild, I'm sure it would come in great help then.
Well, I will warn, just to make sure that you know who you're talking to. The Fae are easily offended, and to be just mindful of all your manners.
Oh, I have not offended you, have I?
No, you have not. You are seeking knowledge, and you are being polite about it. I would never be upset about you asking a question that I can reasonably answer and don't have a reason to hold back.
Well, that is encouraging.
But as I said, I am mortal. For you and I are mortals. For us, is a lifetime to the Fae is but a blink of the eye. Maybe a nap, depending on some of them. And they can hold grudges for a long time.
I see. It's quite fascinating. Again, I've not had much opportunity to interact or discuss or learn about them before. Even those that represent the interests within the Senate are a little bit more secretive than some.
It is unfortunately a part of being the Fae. We do like our secrets. But when they share them with you, that means you have earned their trust, or they want something from you. That is why I say be careful about which side of the of the light and dark Fae you may interact with. The light Fae may request a simple favor, or something in exchange: money, knowledge, the most recent beauty products for one of my various siblings. But the dark Fae may ask for, say, your firstborn, a task you may not wish to perform, such as, I don't know, killing Mrs. Gale over there, in exchange for that. So you have to be careful with who you interact with.
And what is it you're seeking from me?
As I said, I am immortal. While I do hold many of the Fae beliefs, I gain no power from anything, and honestly, you're seeking knowledge. You are asking questions. That, as myself as a knowledge seeker, is all the payment I could ever ask. You are trying not to be ignorant if you say, meet the Fae.
Fascinating. She kind of nods as Philomene comes walking up.
I would advise to follow his counsel. I've only had interactions with very lesser Faes and of the good court, but even their gifts can be mischievous at times. And at this, you point to the branches in her hair with flowers and fruits growing out of them.
And indeed, they can be, even the beneficial ones can be mischievous. This is a relatively, by Fae standards, harmless prank. You can be cursed with misfortune if you truly anger them, just for example, where nothing ever goes right, but you will not be allowed to die, even no matter how much it happens. Well, it's a reasonable thought process, right? But other times, they generally tend to want to actually respect. If you show them respect, they will respect you. A harmless prank, such as these branches, is the least of it. Is just a simple, like I said, a harmless joke.
I hadn't realized that those were a joke. I thought that they might be indicative of some sort of piney heritage in your past. My apologies.
No, I assure you, I have no relation to any dryads or the likes. I do like the look. I'll be honest. It's not all bad, but that is the kind of gifts you can expect when some dealers of face choose you as their champions.
Interesting.
Yes, and like I said, this is a relatively harmless. Theoretically, I wouldn't do it. I don't know, but this has not affected Phil's and me here with outside of changing her appearance a little bit.
And giving me a nice diet of wonderfully delicious fruits every morning.
Exactly. It's harmless. It actually benefits her, even if with the slight change there. A dark fae, for just a counterpoint. I referenced that they might want your firstborn. Well, they may not tell you that they want your firstborn. So let's just say, hypothetically, you have a child. In the middle of the night, they're gone, replaced by a fae creature. You don't know the difference, not off the bat, but it still happened. It's still a price that's paid. And like I said, you asked what my price is. You are seeking knowledge, so that if you ever encounter the Fae or end up in the Fae Wilds, for example, you will be less likely to end up in trouble, which is all the payment I ever ask. I dislike ignorance.
That makes for two of us. And your counsel is appreciated. Both of you. Many thanks.
If anything, if the council ever makes a return to the Fae, more wider returns, I mean, it would be good to send anyone already familiar with them.
That seems like good advice indeed.
Yes, the Feywild can be, even for those of us who live there, if we are, specifically for us mortals who live there, can be, how to put this?
A headache?
Yes, a headache to navigate if you do not know your way around. It can be a headache even if you do know your way around, depending on how playful the local inhabitants are. I think one of my aunts decided to keep me lost in that forest for a week. Good thing I knew luckily they had food.
There's an out character.
I should say, that is quite lucky indeed. I don't know where we'd be without you.
I am just, like I said, a seeker of intelligence, of knowledge, who wishes to help as he can.
How do you feel so far about the knowledge that you have collected?
It's a start. I'm learning new things every day. I'm learning, which means I can, I'm even writing down everything I know so that future generations, be they mortal, fae, or otherwise, can use this knowledge to help further their own knowledge. I knew about the way between worlds, but I'm now seeing it. I now have seen some of the threats here. So, with that knowledge, I can pass that down, provided I I'm able to. Circumstances. Death is a factor of the cycle. I have met the Celestial Dwarves now. And while I know sort of them from history and
Already.
books I've read, I now can see what they can do. The knowledge I'm gaining is worth more than any treasure I've ever seen, because it can help far beyond what a simple coin can do. A coin can buy the food, but the knowledge of how to grow the food is far more valuable than that coin. Same as here. I can know of the dwarves, but seeing their techniques, seeing them, being able to direct people to them in the future, obviously vetted if I can, that's more important than just knowing about them.
Ah, the teach a man to fish metaphor, essentially.
Indeed. Now, I will fully admit, just from my own perspective, for preferences and upbringing, there is a reason there is forbidden knowledge. Not all knowledge is meant to be known. I, for one, would never want to know, just randomly off the top of my head, how to kill a god.
That is quite a random thought off the top of your head.
Well, the other one was the start of this was when I was younger, far younger, I was traversing my family library. I tripped over a book. I was going to read it until my mother stole it and everything else from this author and whisked them away. Told me I was 300 years too young for that level of existential crisis. Pity. The author of the Coven Wizards of the Coast made a really beautiful cover.
I've never heard of these wizards.
Neither have I. I wasn't able to read the book, so I do not know what my mother meant by that. And as I've stated, I'm mortal. I am never going to reach that age to read that.
It is all sealed behind the great curse of Hasbro.
I have been sitting on that line for a long since we started this freaking
God.
campaign. It's like I can get away with a meta joke as long as my character didn't actually read the Dungeon Master's Guide, right?
God damn it.
Nothing like a good fourth wall break.
Like I said, I can make a joke of it, but like my character is out of character. Yozora never read the book. He saw the cover before they could open the book. It got taken from them, so that's the closest they've come to "quote unquote" being able to actually metagame.
Metagaming from inside the game.
Canonical metagame.
Yes, I'm not. Yozora is not Deadpool. I'm not pulling that crap.
Yeah, thank Christ, you're not a fucking wild magic sorcerer.
No, I wouldn't touch that with a 30-foot pole. But I logic that, hey, the Fae, you can bullshit with them all you want. Who's to say they don't have a portal to our world and they've got the book? And I figured it was a harmless joke. I was hoping somebody else got that. I wasn't exactly being subtle, but eh. Anyways.
Dev didn't get it, though. He's getting something else.
Yeah, he got it.
No.
Is that what the 2 was for?
Ah!
Anyways. There is knowledge, like I said, that was my example of the killing a god, or whatever book was sealed away so that I could never read it. But there's also, as I know it, lost knowledge. I knew, like I said, going back to my earlier statement, of these celestial dwarves. But that's about it. I knew they were. I've now come across, essentially, lost knowledge. And I'm learning. That means in the future,
Ooh,
somebody
well,
else might know about these pacifists, these shapers of reality, and maybe in a time of need can come get some help or respond to their distress and not be blindsided, if I may, by the void. You don't want to take a wrong step and end off without ground underneath your feet, after all.
As far as other cultures mentioning or knowing of or addressing these celestial dwarves, I do think that nearly all of them have, in a way. It's possibly harder to articulate without a vast array of cultural textbooks with which to reference, but a lot of what they speak of sounds familiar to some of the stories I know from my world of the architects and those who created and built all of everything. For instance, he who came before.
Do I do a religion check on that one or a history check just to see if I know what that is?
You can if you'd like. You don't know a whole lot other than it is a figure of religious significance amongst some worlds. For instance, on my world, we have the great creator, he who built everything. Supposedly, with a axe dragged behind him, he carved the cosmos from nothing. His blood and his will to see justice done, breathing life into that cosmos. Myth, of course, religious nonsense and superstition at best, but perhaps an ounce of truth to it. As it sounds, these celestial dwarves know a thing or two about actually crafting what is that exists.
Indeed, that does initially sound as nothing more than a storyteller's attempt to explain how the world was made and how it functioned, why it exists as it does. But considering the gods themselves exist, we've got demons, we've got all that. There's nothing saying that there isn't a shred of evidence that there's not a shred of truth within that story. And while I have not seen the full extent of their powers, I have seen them manipulate the very walls of the cave we are in. They had to make them wider for our noble steed back there, gesturing in the general direction of Boan.
Yes, they had to do the same for the carriages, but it was effortless for them. Granted, I've seen the same done with the doors that we use to travel about. The door, for instance, to Eridesh. I've seen it manipulated, its size changed and altered in various different ways. I was not aware that it was a byproduct of such ancient magics, it seems.
And that right there falls into what I call, like I said, lost knowledge. Knowledge about how this happens, why it was made, how did this happen? The legend you said, was your universe created by somebody who walked through with a dragon axe behind them? Or was it created by these celestial dwarves? Or was it just, I don't know, a god sneezing, and everything came into existence?
A random explosion of energy and light at one point and one time that is neither started nor begun, nor shall it ever end. Who can say?
Exactly. Now, we may never ever find out truly the answer to these without knowledge that I do not even know where to start to look for, and I have no interest in looking for it. But it's fun to postulate on. And when we find the nuggets of truth or a hint of what might be there, examine, learn, so that others may have an easier time learning after us.
Pave the way, as it were.
Exactly. We have to be... While we cannot predict the future, most of the time, making it so that those who will inevitably follow us have a path to follow, if they choose to, with the knowledge we've left behind, or use that knowledge to strike out and find even more. That is what I think seeking knowledge and learning is all about. And that is why I'm glad to be on this expedition. And like I said, in the time I've been here, I've been to the city of doors. I've been here, and I'm heading to a new world. Who knows what else I'll learn?
Now, speaking of learning of the future, how do you feel about prophecy?
In what terms? Are we talking about, say, me being able to say that tomorrow I will get out of bed? Or are we talking about somebody has said a prophecy that in, I don't know, tomorrow a great big rock will fall over there and crush person A, for like a better example?
I mean, the somewhat usually cryptic riddles spoken of the future, some that can, in fact, be pointed at it, say, well, this exists here and happened here. But still, how do you feel about it? Is prophecy truly the insight to the future, or is it just coincidence?
I think prophecy is both. Let's just say that, if I may use you as an example, you hear a prophecy that tomorrow you're going to get killed. Let's just use that as my biggest... no. Actually, no. Let's not be that morbid. That's way too morbid. For this example, let's just say you get a prophecy that you are going to slip and fall. Could be anything. Could be just cryptic. Let's just say you go out of your way to spend the entire day just trying to avoid anything that could make you slip, anything that could make you fall. You might try and stay all day in bed. But because of that, let's just say your bed doesn't have a... No, there we go. When you have to inevitably get out of bed. It could be for any reason. But because of your actions, you didn't notice that your carpet wasn't as flat as it was supposed to be, and your foot catches and you fall. Maybe if you're because you went and cleaned this one thing over here and you weren't paying attention to that. Prophecies, in my opinion, will happen whether or not people act on them, and even people acting upon them, trying to prevent them, aforementioned slipping, may only hasten or guarantee. I heard a story years back, a prophecy of a dark warrior who had been sealed away or rising again. The man who sealed him away, hearing this prophecy, tried to ensure he wouldn't escape his prison. In doing so, he ensured that the prophecy came true because his actions gave the prisoner his way out. Heed them as a warning, be ready, but don't try and circumvent them. Time tends to happen as it wishes.
That, I think, may be the most profound thing you've said all night. She will smile as she takes another drink.
I do try. I won't ever admit to claim to always know exactly what to say. But I just do the best I can.
What are you up to, Philomene?
Well, Philimy will be wandering around, as she tends to do because of the party, and notice the light swing of the wagon, and will draw the correct conclusion. So she'll be looking around for the kitchen.
You see the Titanic hand across the glass.
I'll be right back, all.
Something along those lines. And she'll just go around looking for the kitchen and has the celestial dwarf soldier if there is one around.
I'm afraid not. We don't really eat like most normal mortals do, so we don't really have room or need for a kitchen.
I see. And do you have a fire or something? Or some heat source?
We could have one brought to you, yeah.
I would appreciate it. I need to do a little bit of impromptu cooking.
By all means. Yeah, anywhere you would like them to set up a fire for you to do some cooking on, you absolutely can.
Gonna settle over there and she's gonna start making some tea and maybe see what she can do about cooking up some rations into a light snack.
As she's doing that, Wither has gotten to the point where he's drunk enough to have kind of brought out his playing card deck and has challenged both Deck and Timus to a few games, rather.
Oh my, that's dangerous.
Oh, we
Mech.
are fucking talking now.
Oh shit.
Absolutely. You ready to pay up there, kitty boy?
With mech? Alright, let's do it.
I've told you, you're going to lose your shirt on this.
No.
And maybe a little bit more.
Oh, I'm a fucking love wiping the floor and then taking all your fucking money. This is gonna be great.
You don't fleece a goblin. You get fleeced by goblins.
We'll see.
If I knew what was going on, I could probably go over there and keep everybody from cheating, but I don't think I have a reason to be able to know that.
Okay,
I've
so
never actually played this game. Teach me.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be the best fucking night I've had in months.
I don't know how I want to start with this then. Now. Any games in particular you can think of?
Me, you want me to pick the game? Are you fucking crazy? How fast do you want to lose your money?
I tell you, I am a quick learner.
No.
Oh, even over the games you've never played before. Holy shit! All right, okay. Hold on. I gotta compose myself here. Hold on. Whoa.
Kitty gonna learn a lesson.
Yeah, all right.
Yes,
Hey, we're gonna play this one. This one, yeah, this one is old Quick Profit favorite. We learned it. Oh shit, centuries back. Well, yeah, here. Hand me those cards.
He hands the cards over graciously.
Hey.
All right, he will start shuffling the deck. Let's see, where's his? There it is. He will shuffle the deck with a little sleight of hand.
Uh,
All right.
excuse me?
And then he will deal the cards out. He will explain the rules. All right, so go ahead and roll a D100. See how good your hand turned out.
Oh wow!
Kitty is getting fleeced.
Like I said, unfortunately, I can't.
Hey.
I think I might be able to stop that, but I don't think I can get away with that.
All right, and there's the Forge Master who's not doing much better with his hand. And then we've got Mech.
Will you fucking settle down?
who rolls a 96. So Mech's gonna win that first hand handedly and just sweep all the winnings his direction.
Are you sure about this?
I tell you, let's keep it going.
I fucking love you. You are my favorite right now. You know, I like that Steel Dove character, but you know what? He works for a shithead. You, I like you better because you don't work for a shithead, and all your money's mine anyway.
And can I do a perception check on this as he's doing
I mean,
the
good
sleight of
luck.
hand?
Yep. Yeah, you may.
Fabulous. We're gonna stop letting him shuffle.
Looks fine. Everything seems normal. He's very quick. His hands are blindingly fast. Like you're hardly able to even follow the movements of them. Yeah, go ahead, roll another D100.
Fuck.
It's at least a better hand than last time, right? And the Forge Master.
It's his. Oh, he has something with him.
Ooh, Forge Master's got a real good hand. Somehow, Mech's still able to come out on top and win that round.
How did he get a
He-
double royal flush?
He just kind of winks and scoops up the winnings once more.
Yeah, it was real unfortunate, real unfortunate. You did real well. Forge Master, you got real close, but that was that one card you held, it was upside down. Nothing you can do about that. Just means it's worth less points.
Let me try this. Let me do the dealing this time.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I am going to do a sleight of hand check as well.
All right. All right. Mech smiles as he watches you.
You I think you missed a little bit. You might want to try again. Give those a better shuffle.
So go ahead and roll your D100. Unfortunately, your bonus has been negated as you have been caught. Pretty good hand anyway. It's definitely going to beat the Forge Master. He's like not even holding the cards the right direction.
Oh my god.
Mech seems to just have all the right cards at all the right times. He once more lays his cards out and he will win the hand.
Yep. And can I do a perception check again on that?
Absolutely. Oh my god.
Don't see anything, I guess. Oh well.
What can I say? It's, bad luck, bad luck. Beginners, you got to start somewhere, right?
I had a pretty decent hand that time, but you just seem
That's
to be
true,
a little
that's
bit
true.
better.
That's true. You had that real good hand. If I hadn't drawn that one right at the right time, you definitely would have won. But I got it. That's what can I say? That's what luck's gonna do to you.
Would you like to deal, Forge Master? You were pretty close here a couple of times.
Ha! I would.
All right, he will shuffle and deal.
What is happening?
Wow.
Wow.
Apparently, I'm dumbfounded right now by what's going on. No, well.
Okay, how did he get Fiber Giant?
Somehow you don't even notice the fact that he has got duplicate cards that like both you and the Forge Master have already had in their hands, but he's got them as well, and somehow he still wins, and no one's really questioning it because he's so fast moving, showing his cards that it just works out.
What can I say? What can I say? Like, I've been doing this for a while. It's an old game. The quick profits, we basically mastered it after we learned it. You can't do much with it, kid. You tried, and you know what? I appreciate that.
Okay, how much have I lost? Out of context, I should say. Have I lost a lot?
At this point, you've lost everything, yeah. At least as far as actual coin goes.
So all my GP is gone? Essentially?
Yep.
Alright, fair enough. Let's just call it a night.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. Man, I don't want my purse to get too heavy. That'd be real annoying.
Oh. Take solace in the fact that his are not the fastest fingers here tonight.
As she finishes cooking her light snack and some tea, Philly will have left a portion right by the entrance of the cart, and we'll pass around some of the leftovers to her friends and the rest of the guests.
How sweet.
All right, and Dove
Yes.
has a fairly enjoyable night.
Oh, indeed. Huh.
That will be where we continue the night. Everybody go ahead, complete long rests.
Oh god, yes. 30? Oh.
I'm back at full everything.
Yep, should replenish all your resources. You should be back to full on everything. Should be ready to rock. You guys will be able to find anywhere, as you see, there are plenty of beds. You'll be able to find any one of those that's unoccupied. Get yourself some rest.
Where'd it go?
Literally banged into unconsciousness.
Yes. I'm buckling. Okay. That leads me to something else, actually. See if that were high. Actually, well, it's a +2 because I did drink his blood. But it's only a +2, so it's 10. That's still, I think, I'm gonna need to do this for the tightness of my lips afterwards. It's lagging on. Hey, but at least I can interact with the fucking dice tray this time.
That's true. That's exciting. That's an improvement. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's gonna take a second to show up. Okay. Dove does not spill too many personal secrets during pillow talk. He's still trying to keep this professional.
Professional air quote shrug.
Yeah. He's not trying to lose the upper hand here. And as far as keeping him at arm's length, so he's not gonna spill too much. But in the afterglow, I admit it's been a while since I've had quite the encounter. It's very much appreciated.
It's not often I'm able to find someone who can keep up with me. So,
Barely.
right back at you.
I would certainly be amenable to more arrangements in the future.
I'll be honest with you. I was mostly just curious, but now you definitely have my attention, and I'm not against that idea at all. Besides, who knows what we may be finding on this next world? Could be you and I are the only sane ones there.
Possibly.
Oh, and
Good.
don't fret about the fangs. I'm quite immune. So, feel free.
Good to know.
I absolutely adore the turn this session has taken.
Same.
Character development, at least for those of us who are getting character development and aren't enjoying themselves too much,
Oh, this is good.
is always a good thing, right?
I'm just kind of not really doing very well, though.
No.
It's a learning experience, right?
Yes.
Dove will ask, have you had encounters like this in the past?
What do you mean?
As
With
in,
someone like you?
well, regarding your immunity.
Of course. You grow up within the courts of shadow. You become accustomed to it. Some of the different lords across the entire Shadowfell have very unique offerings when it comes to courtesans.
Interesting. However, I don't know that you have much to worry about from these fangs in particular, or at least that you would have anyway. I'm not like other vampires, as they say. No, but there is something a little different. I can't say too much on it. I have more to find out myself. If you happen to... I wouldn't dare ask for an open favor for nothing, but if we can come to arrangements regarding information regarding succubi or incubi, excubi, whatever, I would be happy to speak further.
I do believe we could possibly see eye to eye on that, after all. I think we are of a same shared mind and wish to see the same kinds of outcomes, perhaps. And are not any kind of stares at like the walls of the carriage as if trying to see beyond them for a moment.
Middle distance.
We are not so restrained as the others.
That has often been an obstacle. Sometimes it's difficult to achieve desired results when working within certain constraints.
And I will tell you this much, and perhaps this will be a bit of a repayment of a kind, at least for now. Your secrets are safe with me. Should not divulge any of them. And of course, I would appreciate you not divulging any of mine, though, granted, you have ascertained very little of them as of this moment. But, and he will kind of like reach up and gently tap like your chin, so like your mouth opens, and then you can kind of like flick a nail against one of your fangs. But this, for instance, shall remain your secret for now.
Appreciate it.
I have a feeling that should things go one way or another on this new world, you and I may need to work together directly, at least once more. As far as a non-professional relationship, do know I'm not exactly prone to exclusivity,
Oh,
nor truly even interested in it.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Good. Do you have a preference, men or women? Or are you an equal opportunity?
I find myself playing many sides of the field, but I must admit I do have somewhat of a predilection for men.
That is fine. But that is also good information to know. It may be of use on this world. Who knows what we may be able to bargain with. Any kind of just gestures towards your body.
Throw my chip into your pile, as it were.
Very well then. I believe we should look into getting this caravan on the road, as it were.
Oh. Someone was kind enough to leave some room service.
Enjoy. I have different appetites.
So I've seen.
Good
Good night, then.
Fare yourself well, Sealduff. He will take your hand and kind of bring it to his lips and place his lips against the back of it gently before letting you go.
Dove steps out of the cart. His knees instantly buckle. Plays it off.
And as you leave the couch, you'll probably find the teas and snacks that were left there.
He's gonna drink of it desperately, just like clearly dehydrated. Though, honestly, no. It's kind of the opposite. This is the most slaked he's been in a long time.
I mean, it's both.
Yeah, it's somehow both. They dehydrated of actual fluids, but the appetites have been finally slaked. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god, Mog, thank you.
Don't forget to take your long rest as well.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need that. Get my bite attack back.
That's true.
What was it?
The different wagons for the caravan will be like getting prepared. You'll see them being filled with more supplies, more goods. They've been filled with what looks to be like fresh water, some very fresh food on behalf of the celestial dwarves, who are able to simply just create that at will, of course. And they are being prepared to move through the tunnels back out, as you have been given to your delegation a map that they believe will lead you to the door that will open to Yome.
Alright, great.
Does anybody wish to do or discuss or get involved with anything else before we move the delegation and the escort further on?
I assume anything about our request for gear will be brought to us when it's completed.
Yep. Any sort of request for any gear, they will be in contact with you. They know where you're going. They will have ways to contact you, obviously. So they will be able to follow up with you when they are able to produce whatever it is was desired.
So long as they don't try to contact us about our extended car warranty.
No, not yet.
That was going to be my question as well.
I've done my philosophical talk. I've listened to the delegation, and I didn't notice whether getting fleeced for everything he's worth. So
drink was too strong. Less aware.
They're popping out.
Don't play against a goblin.
At least without somebody there who can actually keep an eye on what's going on.
Once again,
Yeah,
my
these
curiosity helps. Knows no bounds on games of chance.
Oh god, there it goes. Jesus fuck.
Well, at least you didn't lose 109 lives.
There. Oh my god, that's too many.
Yo, that's true.
I wouldn't put it past a goblin to be able to fleece you out of one of those.
We moved.
I would bet more on the lines of the demons or fae on that one.
Note to self, don't play poker against a fae.
As you step out of the confines of the cave system, you step onto a massive open field. You can see just chunks of rock sticking through it. There are a couple of the spots where it looks like the strange kind of crystalline structure is once more visible, with the roots and other rocks below it, roots poking through in various places, withered plant life all over, massive cliffs up above you, and of course cliffs on the edge all around you that kind of open up into oblivion and infinity itself.
I think
This
there's a
doesn't happen.
spill there.
And then, yes, up ahead, as the carts and the wagons begin to move through the area, and they come through this small gap here, you can see a spot up ahead where it seems as if reality itself is slowly being eroded away.
Oh, that's distinctly not good.
This vacuum surrounding us doesn't have that same sort of pull, does it?
It does not, no. Gravity at the moment in the area you're in seems to be centered downward.
Good.
The delegates are, for now, following along with the carriages, walking outside, kind of just keeping an eye open, looking around at everything, discussing amongst themselves the different things that they've seen and done so far. And they will wait for you to scout the way ahead. The map you have been given, this very far north path and this path down here lead to different places. Let me grab the names of those real quick. One leads to the Spindle Fields, one leads to the Wastes of the Aberrant, or no, sorry, that's where you are now, and one leads to the Shattered Peaks.
And which one of them seems to lead to Yome, as we are supposed to head?
They have seemed to indicate that this one down here is the path that will eventually lead you to the door to Yome.
Well then, that appears to be the way we need to go then.
So the planned route was to go through here, through this gap, and then down through here.
With this one? Oh.
Let's stick to the road. I don't want to get lost in the ways between.
Since there are more of us, we do want to keep this as expedited as possible. While I do not doubt the royal guard, the city guards, we were hired to be the front line for a reason. We don't need to lead another one of those scavenger things to our esteemed delegates.
Indeed, let's try to keep things according to plan.
Dove with a bit more of a vibrance, even to his pallor. A bit more of a spring in his step. A certain, I wouldn't say exuberance, but even his normally
He's got a certain je ne sais quoi.
Something. A little more color to his cheeks, perhaps.
Just a little bit of more of life to him.
A little bit.
And yes, you.
Well, step forward with some energy, and certainly be looking out for anything unusual. In particular, anything alive.
I've got an interesting question.
Go on.
My character is, as I told you, very curious. I want to. What kind of save would I want to do to resist that curiosity and stick with the group?
It's up to you.
Wouldn't that be a common sense thing? I know curiosity is a thing, but
That sounds like it would be. No, not for me to say.
I usually go with wisdom. If I'm making it for myself.
Absolutely. If you want to see if you are filled with enough common sense to behave yourself and not go wild, make a wisdom check.
Go.
Would that be a saving or an
Ooh.
ability?
What is it doing?
A ability check. Yeah.
Refresh.
Okay.
15's pretty good. You get that sense, that desire, but you ultimately are able to
Maybe
resist
log
it.
in again.
Felony will do a quick check on this spill around here.
Wither kind of peeks up at the road going north and is like, and then just kind of like, maybe for another time.
I assume I roll investigation for.
Yep, go ahead if you want to take a look. Go ahead, roll an investigation check. You may also do a perception check if you wish, Wither. If you were coming up to look as well.
Yes, I will do a perception check as well.
Okay, we got a 10 and a 19. As the first of the carriages approaches, we move the others into position.
I just had to do a little refresh. It was being a little fucky. So it's loading me right now.
I've had that happen a couple of times, but it's just a simple refresh. Seemed to work just fine.
I'm back.
It's still very sluggish. It's not moving me. What has to do with Chris?
Yeah, it seems like your point to point still on the screen on mine.
Oh yeah, I let go of that a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I saw your token move and all that. That's weird.
Oh, it did move. Wow, yeah, it hasn't moved for me.
Weird.
Maybe try another refresh, maybe?
All right. So while you're dealing with that, over here, Bolon and Philemede, you guys get pretty close to the edge. You can see that matter is slowly being eroded away. This isn't like a spill. This is as if the creation, the actual material world, is slowly dissolving into oblivion. Wither, you notice the same thing, and unfortunately, you notice it at the same time that the carriage gets close and one of its wheels sinks into the ground a little bit.
Oh boy, do I notice this about the wheel?
Yep. And all right. So with that, we're going to start. Hold on, before you move. With that, since you guys are taking a look at this and you notice this all happening kind of at the same time, or we're going to throw some initiative on the board and we'll go through this environmental situation in initiative order, and we'll see what's going down, what's happening.
got me in a second. My browser crashed, so I'm resetting it.
All the technical difficulties.
No kidding. Yeah, for real. I'm gonna open up Chrome again. Yeah. Go ahead and exit out of it entirely and then open it.
By all means, yeah.
No advantage or anything. Just
No,
normal?
no advantage or anything, just normal straight shot. We're not actually moving like in any combat or anything. We're just going to use this to kind of organize the order of people doing things and get kind of like... Because what's happening is, as you see the wheel sink, this heavier vehicle, a little bit heavier even than Bowen, is going to sink into this ground. And you realize that the like erosion of the material is a little bit more extensive than it appears even here. And the wagon is going to slowly start sliding towards this. So the point will be to stop this from happening, rescue the cart, and prevent it from falling off into oblivion and taking you with it. So what we'll do is we'll get everybody. Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, actually, since we will be calling it here, I won't roll one who leans initiative. We'll let Lola Man do that for next time. But this is where we'll go ahead and call it.
All right.
Ouch. Ew.
But these
Seven.
rolls will withstand.
Yeah, if you've rolled your initiative, don't worry about it. It will still stand. It'll still count. We'll just leave it for one who leans to roll their own initiative next time. If we'd gotten here sooner, we would have just gone through this encounter without him, because it's not overly consequential, honestly.
Hey, that's fine. We got a nice session of filler.
Yeah, no, that was
Very-
good shit. It was very cool.
Very fun filler.
Mm-hmm. I'll say.
Hey,
Yes,
talk about
yeah,
fun
so-
filler.
Yeah, some of us got a bit more filler than others.
Mm-hmm. Positively
I think I managed to pull off
stuffed. I couldn't
being
have another
the-
bite.
I think I managed to pull off just being a person seeking knowledge.
Yeah, you did pretty good.
Oops, wrong button, missed it.
Bev got his. He finally slaked his thirst.
Yeah,
Blood
I
is one
kind
thing,
of lost everything, so
Got the appropriate.
hopefully I can recover this.
Okay, it's just my desktop being a bit weird. Okay. Initiative. Normal roll. What did I get?
Oh, my.
Wow.
Wow!
We're doing great.
Good shit.
Well, I'm not doing
My
this.
gambling luck has gone out, has spread over to you.
Yeah, apparently. Those fucking perception checks. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was 3 1s in a row.
Amazing.
I should have just used my actual dice when the thing decided to crap out. Probably would have had a better roll just from the d20 in front of me.
And the sad thing is, I forgot that my character actually has a gambling feature.
Oh. Really? Oh man, it sucks when those go to waste. Backgrounds
Yeah.
are so,
Okay.
backgrounds are so fucking.
Nice random roll, that was a
good.
19. I'll take it. I got the 1, but still, meh.
Gambler. Huh.
But that is where we're
Yeah,
calling
never
it?
tell me the odds. That's a good one.
Yeah. That is it. Yeah, that is where we'll call tonight's session. We'll leave this for next time. Hopefully, Lola Man will be back and will be able to join us.
Oh.
And you guys will be able to figure out how to save your carriage and not lose it and not get crushed by it as it is between you and the gap to infinity there. And then we will move on and hopefully get to the world of Yome finally.
Mhm.
find what secrets it has in store.
Okay. Yeah. As long as we don't lose our fucking... Yeah, our shit. I mean...
Yeah, that would be a
Those
bummer.
Dove's kind of on cloud 9 right now. He's like, oh, that's fine. Everything's...
Yeah.
It's fine. Oh, if we lose it, it's no big deal.
Fiddly dee.
It does kind of seem fitting that since I had the better perception check, that I got the best initiative on it too.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Hopefully you guys had some fun. I had an absolute blast. That was a good
It was
time.
a good time.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Yeah. That was fun.
It was nice just being able to, for lack of a term, flex our characters and just like, yeah, this is something that we try and develop their unique quirks and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Character
indeed.
development. Imagine.
Very much so. It's good because yeah, Dove's not one of the easiest ones to like find opportunities for that. I mean, he's easy apparently, but
I got him.
Hey, oh.
maybe it's kind of his Achilles heel. But
All
hey,
right,
no,
so-
nobody needs to know that.
So next week, no game. It is the down week. We'll be back on the 10th for session 7, and we will continue from there.
Well, shit, it's a literal cliffhanger.
Yep, literally a cliffhanger. Yeah.
Goddamn.
But Tish.
All right, so thank you everyone for coming to observe these adventures. Oh, my Twitch is closed. So I don't. Well, so I won't be doing a raid then. All right, well. Yeah, we will see you in 2 weeks. Of course, folks who are watching, we will see you tomorrow, as long as Lolo Man lives. I mean, like, if he comes back somehow, and we can actually play Storm Riders tomorrow, then we will be doing that at 4 p.m. Eastern. But barring, that falling through, do that. And of course, Sunday, we'll be doing Level Heads as well. That one, oh my god, you missed a hell of a session last time if you didn't happen to see it. But hey, there's always the VODs, and there's always the YouTube. That one was also very character heavy, very character driven, for at least our monk. It was, I had a lot of fun. So come back tomorrow for hopefully Storm Riders, and on Sunday for Level Heads. And then next week, none of this. Oh, I cry. 2 weeks, and we'll be back with this.
I
But we
did
will-
peek in on Level Heads last week for a little bit. Being my little lurker self.
Fantastic, thank you. So we will see you all next time. Until then, stay easy.